Hey.
Okay.
Can you?
Yeah, we got you, I
Yeah.
think, loud and clear. And so two Audens now. We are just saying like about the film and congratulations on it. It's awesome. We we were covering the Nordic Docs Award for Copenhagen Documentary Film Festival.
Oh,
And
cool.
it was an intense and emotional roller coaster. And we got this email from Shelley and we're like, are you interested in this? And we're like, okay, yeah, help I've gone viral. We're like thinking this can go any direction. Like, where are we going to go with this? And it was one of the most refreshing, fun and brilliant, kind of surprising films. And I think we kind of needed it at the time as well, because everything was just quite intense for a while for us. So
Yeah.
we really enjoyed the film with that. So yeah.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that you enjoyed it.
So I mean, I had a few questions, and I know, like, I mean, it's been almost, is it 4 years now since the journey started with that? And
Yeah.
I mean, I have to ask first because I did a bit of research. I think the weekend when we saw it, I was like, I'm going to try and see if I can find nasi padang around here. I didn't have any success at all, and I still like. It seems like this mystical kind of food that you can find, but give me an idea of what does really consist in like nasi padang, because I'm totally intrigued. It looks amazing, but I'm intrigued to know what it kind of consists of almost with that.
Yeah, sure. So the thing is that it's kind of a complex dish because usually when you get into a nasi padang restaurant, you will sit down on a table and the waiter will come just fill the table with all kinds of different food, like maybe 15 or 20 different dishes.
Wow. Okay.
So it's like it can be based on meat or chicken or fish or seafood or vegetarian ingredients, and the only thing that is always there is the rice. And also nasi means rice in Indonesian language.
Okay.
So it's like rice-based tapas kind of table with just with Asian flavors.
Big
Maybe you have
brother of
something to add. Yeah. The big brother of tapas.
The big brother of tapas. And have you found anywhere yet in Norway? I'm guessing it's still not in Trondheim yet, but anywhere in Norway where you've managed to find anything close to it yet?
Close, yeah. It's a couple of Indonesian restaurants that has had some like a weekend of nasi padang or like a day where you can get parts of nasi padang, but they're still what?
In the capital, in Oslo, right?
Yeah,
in the
so I
capital.
was going to say, yeah. So in Oslo, yeah, okay, yeah.
And we have been lucky enough to be invited at some Indonesian people's homes. So someone has actually made the nasi padang from scratch. Maybe spent 2 days just to create like a real table of nasi
Wow.
padang, and invited us to come there and eat, which is feel so lucky.
Wow.
I mean, seriously, nasi padang is big, and also Audun, by the way, because Audun is a bit humble about it, but we were in Germany pitching the film in Germany where was it in
Frankfurt.
In Frankfurt,
in
yeah.
Golden Tree.
And then some random Indonesians had discovered from social media or somewhere that we were in Germany and Audun was in Germany. And then they contacted him and invited us for nasi padang in Frankfurt. And it's all by like, wow, how did you know we were here?
I love that it just continues. These stories just keep flowing from this as well. I mean, how many times have you had nasi padang now as well? Like off the top of your head. I mean, there's got to be a world record making now, surely.
At least the couple of weeks we were in Padang, I think we ate it at least 2 times every day.
Wow.
Because everywhere we went, they had prepared the nasi padang, even for breakfast sometimes. So
bit different from the herring and stuff.
I'm not sure about how many times, but I guess I don't know, 50 or.
I was just really happy that Audun wrote a song about a dish that was actually good. And
That's true.
Yeah.
You've sold it well on there. And I mean, thinking about the whole thing, and it's amazing how it all kind of transpires and evolves. At what point, what was the point when you kind of went, wow, okay, this is getting almost out of control? Was it the video when that went viral? Because you see the counters and things go up, and that's a good indication. But yeah, was that it, or what else kind of triggered that?
I think it was at least 3 times where I was thinking that, okay, this is going like totally out of hands, and I sincerely thought that it cannot go any further, because I couldn't imagine what could happen that would make it more crazy sometimes. So, but the first time was already when I woke up the next morning, because my phone had literally messages from all of my social media accounts, and even my work was contacted via Twitter and everything, and my girlfriend got messages, and friends of mine got messages. Even I think Audun Amundsen also had some messages from people just because he had the same first name, because that was before we started collaborating on this film.
Right. Oh my God. So like that's major. And was that coming from the Indonesian community, like just seeking you out? Wow.
Yeah, definitely. That was 99% Indonesians, but also Indonesian expats that maybe lived in other countries, like CNN in London were contacting me because they had someone working there with Indonesian origin.
That's brilliant. I just love, I just love how that just the simplest of things that you've done. And did you ever think, was there ever a point where you kind of thought this could go viral, or was it genuine, like you just wrote a song and put it out there?
Well, I had like a hunch maybe a week before, because I posted the album cover, which actually was just a picture from my travel, and with the text nasi padang. But I posted it because I had a Facebook page with 0 followers, and I thought, okay, let's post the album cover and maybe just see if it can spark some interest. And it got like an abnormal amount of comments from people that thought it was someone thought it was weird to make a song about food, and someone was really excited about it. But so I had like a feeling that maybe it would get like a little attention, but I still thought maybe 1,000 people or a few thousand people, if I were lucky, would listen to it. So I was pretty like blown away when it happened.
And for you as Audun the director, at what point did you think, right, I need to start filming this and follow this and start documenting it?
Yeah, it's funny because actually I think Audun kind of forgets something, because I actually knew the song would go viral before probably Audun knew himself. Because I'm an Indonesian speaker. I've been making my other film in Indonesia, so I spent several years there. My other film, Utopia, is also from there, and I remember Kvitland calling me when I was in Indonesia, and Kvitland didn't know that I was in Indonesia at that point, and he showed me a sketch of the song. So it was not, I think it was a month before you released it or something.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't like offend anyone, because I knew that Amundsen knew the culture, right?
Yeah.
And I heard the song, and I just, okay, this is going to become crazy. And my Indonesian friends, I showed it to them. It was just a sketch stage song, and they were singing on the song all day, and it invited friends, and they were singing and singing. So I kind of knew that this is going to become crazy, but not as crazy as it did when we were greeted by a hall of drummers outside of the plane when we went back, you know.
That was incredible to see, I think, and how it continued to escalate as well was just I've just, yeah, it's such a great watch. But I think also the fact that when they came to Trondheim as well, of all places, that traveling over there, was that a real surprise when suddenly they've just kind of turned up there? And
Well, no, they had contacted us in advance, just telling us that they were making like a program synchronized with like tourists promo event that that is like an annual thing in Norway, where countries are invited to promote their own culture and stuff like that.
oh, okay,
So
yeah,
it was like synchronized a bit with this kind of event, so they could have a bit more out of the visit. But then they contacted us in advance and asked if we wanted to meet up, and they would make sure that someone in Oslo will make nasi padang, and we had a really great dinner there.
It's incredible, and I think it's really interesting how you kind of brought some of the cultures together as well through that. So
yeah,
that's a really interesting kind of take.
Definitely, that's one of the surprises also.
When it's funny though, because you know it's like you said, it's about 4 years ago since this whole thing started, but always when the Indonesian ambassador of Norway and Iceland is coming here to Trondheim, he invites us for dinner. And I think last time was about some months ago. We were eating dinner with him and his staff and his daughter, and yeah, so it's like this connection is really strong. And it's
was there ever a point where because we see a lot that happens, you know, in the short film, but was there anything kind of off screen which was just totally wild, that was almost too much? I mean, was there anything quite radical and weird that happened or that you experienced at all?
Yeah, I guess it's a lot, but I can mention a couple of examples if you want. But one thing that we did not manage to get in camera was we had an interview in a radio station in Jakarta, the capital.
Yep.
And it was like it was the biggest news channel where they mainly only focus on news, and they don't play music and stuff like this. So, but they asked me to, like, maybe I could sing like just one verse and part of the chorus of the song live a cappella, which I kind of hesitantly did. And after that, they played the song, and we went to break, and we went to have some food with the radio hosts. And on the way to the restaurant, he told me that the last time they ever had played music in that radio station was one song of Michael Jackson the day that he died. So it's me and a Michael Jackson song. That's the only music that I have played on that on that radio station. The last maybe decade or something. I don't know.
Wow. Okay, that's out there. I like that. That's a great story. Wow.
And it's also actually an Android game where you can play Nasi Padang Tycoon with me as the main character, serving people food.
It gets better and better. Just the more you unravel it. Has there been, because obviously there's these other great stories there, ever the thought of making this more of a longer, like more of a feature film? Is there the footage there? And I guess that you can make it, I mean, a series or a film or something like that. Is that something you've considered or even working on?
It's funny that you mention it, because there is actually a 39-minute version of the film that is screening on the national television here in Norway and also in Indonesia. And now we are thinking to make a 52-minute version, because there's been several distributors asking for a longer version, and we have a lot of material. It's probably over 60 hours of material with the craziness.
Excellent. Oh, so this could definitely become a series or even just a longer movie, which would be, that's amazing.
Audun have to make more food songs from other countries.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was thinking to myself how this could turn into an actual series, couldn't it? Where, you test different foods and release a song and see what happens, what the reaction is. I think you've got a theme going there.
I have to admit that we have been thinking that thought. Of course, I think that chances of experiencing anything close to this would be like winning in the lottery twice in a row. So it's a big chance that it will be like a huge anti-climax to do something, but I think it would be fun just for the experiment of it, to at least maybe test and see what happens, because the worst thing that happens is that it will probably not happen anything at all.
You got to try totally with that.
Yeah.
Has your life changed? I mean, obviously there's incredible stories in that, but are you still in your same work? Is your life still the same to a degree? The whole thing hasn't had a huge kind of impact and everything, or
it could have been quite life-changing, I guess, but I'm pretty happy about my current status and situation in Norway, because I have my own company that I've spent like 12 years building, so it's a bit difficult for me to just put that aside. But if I was in a different situation in life, I guess I would have maybe jumped on some other offers that appeared, and like maybe just try to move to Indonesia for a year and see what happened, because I'm pretty sure that could have been quite life-changing experience. But so far I am happy with just having it as some like weird and really, really interesting, fun part of my life.
And you're still getting free food quite regularly, so that's it's a win if anything, so
I mean, you were offered roles in films and stuff, so you could have jumped on that. But
were they Indonesian films? As like a
yeah.
Right.
I think I got 4 different feature films requesting me to play. Some of the roles were even like quite big roles in the film, like one of the main characters, even though I'm not an actor at all. So I think that would have been really bad, but probably really entertaining for the documentary film.
That could be, you say yes, and then go along and film what happens, how it all pans out. Wow.
But it would have required too much time of my work, and it would have been difficult to get any kind of like economic compensation, because the levels of the wages are so different in our 2 countries.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of polar opposite almost there.
Yeah.
So what is kind of next for you both? I mean, hopefully, are you touring the film a bit more in a few more festivals, or?
Yeah, Amundsen
we have a festival distributor we're working with, and there is, hopefully after hot dogs as well, the film will get more viewers or more buzz. So that's really cool. For me personally, filmmaking wise, I have my other project, and I'm also distributing Utopia, where I've been following a shaman deep in the jungle of Indonesia for 15 years. So that's a very long film.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that came out about a year ago. So that's in channels in France, Japan, and Norway, and so on. So that's ongoing, and I'm working on another documentary now as well about online entrepreneurs. Just enjoying making documentary film, and enjoying the momentum.
Yeah. No, well, that's awesome. They sound fascinating as well. We saw one at the festival called The Soldier, about a Danish guy who went into the jungle and started taking the kind of natural drugs out there to kind of cure him, and that was that was quite fascinating. So I imagine catching that for 15 years worth of a shaman out there is going to be quite wild.
Yeah. I have to add that that story, the Utopia film, is a really, really good film. If you get a chance to see it, definitely do so. It's a crazy, incredible story.
Right. Okay, we'll get that on the list. With your film, do you think that with us being UK based, when do you think there might be the opportunity that people could see this, or where could we direct them to in the future to hopefully capture it?
Well, hopefully we will appear in some festivals in UK. If not, I guess it depends on finding a distributor that wants or that managed to sell it to any UK based or located media, television, or any other media that will show documentaries. I'm not sure, Amundsen, if you have any more detailed insights.
No, not really for UK, but hopefully, if you write that we are going to release a 52-minute version, and some people contact us for details.
Okay, yeah, we can always drop that in and just see what happens. Put it out there. We've seen that if you do these things, like, anything can happen anyway. So we'll have to get you over to the UK. I'm sure there must be a restaurant in London that can do some nasi padang as well. And we can.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. I know at least rendang is quite common in England, right?
I think so. Yeah, and I know. I think definitely London. I mean, a bit like Oslo in a way, that you can find some key places there.
Because that's like one of the dishes that is typically served in nasi padang, and it's been awarded for being the best meat-based food, I think 3 or 2 times by CNN. So that's like if someone in London wants to have like a small taste of how nasi padang feels, they should try rendang in a real Indonesian restaurant.
Okay, right, noted. We need to do that. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to speak to us. Absolutely love the film, and we'll support it every way we can and share that. And I'm excited because I don't think this story's ended yet. I think there's still something, I think, certainly if you're building it as well into potentially a feature and stuff. So I think it will get a great following as well when it gets wider and wider and released that way. So no, it's really exciting, and thank you so much for sharing it with us as well.